If you like this video, make sure to visit our Vimeo page and follow us to get the latest update.
What I do is, before we start, let's give a try with some basic quiz that we have on the topics that we have seen so far. I'm trying to give you a link. Can everybody who are there in the call please open this link? Let me know once you have opened.
Yeah, it is open, showing that enter your name.
Yes, you please give your name.
Should I start then?
Yes, please start. Everybody, please click on that link which I gave it to you and give your name and start. Do you see any question?
It is showing something, your power ups.
Can you show your share your screen?
Yeah, is it visible?
Yes. Okay. So far, Muthukrishnan, Kalyani, Pavani, and they have joined. Just a second. Everybody is joined. Then I'll try to start the game. I'm sharing the link again. Please join this link. I have shared the link again. Please join using this link. Maybe you can give your name. Currently, there are 6 players. Yes, I have started the quiz. Please answer this.
I'll unshare then.
Yeah, I can share.
One question. If we don't know the answer, can we skip to the next answer? Go to the
No.
next.
That's the only one question I gave.
Okay.
We have to write the like definition.
Yes, definition.
Okay.
I gave you 1 minute of time.
We have to submit the answer or it will.
Yes, submit the answer, please. Let me know once you have done.
It is showing me that the answer is wrong and reattempt.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, for me also.
Yes, I gave a couple of keywords to know the answer. So you have to give that keywords. At least your answer should have the keywords. It doesn't matter how long it is, how long your answer is. Yeah, that will search for the keywords, whichever I have given already.
Okay, okay.
I mean, where's keyword? I mean, we have to use the keywords, or you have provided some keywords. I didn't get it.
I have provided all the keywords. What is DDIC is. For example, what is DDIC? I have provided the keywords for that. That meant for the answers. Now, if you say,
We can't go back, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not able to go back.
Yeah. No.
Mhm. Okay. So whoever has, so Satish, so far Satish Muthukrishnan and Karthik has given their answers. Okay, it just searches for my keyword, whichever I have given. Yeah, probably you know the answers, but you would have given the proper keyword. So that would have, what was that? Hello. Okay, so tomorrow I will try to do the same. Let's try to do the same activity by giving few more questions. Yeah, we will try to do this activity with a few more questions. And okay, can I have one volunteer to do this activity, so that I will show how to create this quiz tomorrow, so that he or she will come up with a couple of questions, and tomorrow let's do this activity again. And does anybody want to volunteer themselves for this activity?
Yeah, I would like to.
Okay.
But what are the keywords you provided? I can't see that.
No, you cannot see that keywords. So that's the answer. I said database interface
Ah, I have
virtual.
used the database word.
How is it?
Only one word I have used, database. But
Okay, not a problem. I think I cannot personally message you, I guess. Tamashri, this link is for you. I have given it to you. So this link, you try to sign up using this link, and you try to, I will share you one video as well.
I'll do a sign up.
Yes. You have to do a sign up.
It is showing sign up with mobile number. Should I use my mobile number?
No, not required. I am also giving you a YouTube link how to you sign up and other things. So maybe not during this class, maybe today by any day, by any time, you come up with couple of questions
Okay.
on DDIC on the basic first three classes. You see the course content, right? From
Yeah.
LMS tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till ABAP on HANA basics. You please come up with questions. At least we need 10 questions on including all the all the top four topics. Say ABAP basics, syntaxes, function modules, ABAP on HANA basics. We have four topics. Please make 10 questions at least.
From each of them or totally
No,
10?
totally 10 questions. That's all.
But this YouTube link is not opening in TCS laptop.
Okay. Maybe you can try it in maybe this with this keyword called quizzes in YouTube in your phone. You can try that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it will tell you how do you sign up and all. If you are not, you can also still self-explanatory. This website, you can create a quiz and you can do that activity. Yeah. You can see this.
This YouTube link will show how to create that quiz, no?
Yes.
I'll try. I'll try today.
You want should write.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I am sharing my screen. So yesterday, what we what have we seen?
The persistent classes.
So persistent class will automatically create two classes. What is that?
The method I can remember, the getter and setter.
Agent class based.
Oh, okay.
Yes, agent class and base class will be created now. Yeah. So our this is our thing. Let's say get emp name. Here already some piece of code is already generated. We haven't seen yesterday, and however I have also not did nothing. This piece of code, whatever it is there, it is already developed. It is already developed by our persistent class itself. So as I told you, this persistent class will help you to work on database objects directly without any ABAP developer role. So that is what persistent class meant for. Yeah. So these are like comments, some get attributes, AEMP name, version, and etc. And if you have any problem with get emp name, there is a exception saying cx object not found. Yeah. And there is some piece of code where you says emp name is equal to read, and if you double click on this state read access, so there are a lot of classes. Okay, it goes to what is if OS state? Anybody any idea? If OS state, what is that? Any idea? It's an interface.
Interface.
It's an interface which after as soon as we create a persistent class, we see if OS state interface, which is a state management for managed object, which will try to help you with some kind of piece of code that is needed for the persistent object. Let's say I try to execute this. Okay, it says cannot be instantiated directly. So how do I do now? This says this cannot be instantiated directly. Now how do I do? How do I create an instantiation now?
For which one?
Now, for persistent, while I'm executing, it says I cannot have this persistent class should be instantiated first. That is the error it says. I'll show it again. This is my CL of persistent. As soon as I click on F8, I see this cannot be instantiated directly.
Okay.
So to do this, I need to create a class again. enter. Type ref2. What is our class name? Any idea?
ZCL underscore prof underscore persistence.
Person.
Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah. So this is my, I created one reference for this class here. Okay, let's say I will say here EMP is one agent, type ref2, CA, right? Class name.
CA.
Number, what did we give? Employee number, I guess. See 1249 I gave. I will try to call the persistent method agent. Now try, because since we are handling getter and setter method, so we don't know what happens. So that is why I try to put it in try. Create persistent and exporting. Here I will try to give the employee number here, and receiving set will be EMP here. Okay. Here anyway above there is a catch object, so I will try to do that itself. And catch this one. This should be fine. EMP number. What did we give for IMP? It says this one. Okay, char 40. I have given string. Let's say I activate this. Let's say how it goes. I kept a breakpoint at while during the calling. So whenever, so you will not directly call your position class, but instead you will call with the agent class.
Deep, can you repeat what you said now?
You are going to call your persistent class with the agent reference. Here I'm trying to call the persistent with the agent, right? You understood?
Anytime we have to call the persistent class.
Yeah, anytime if you want to call your persistent class, you make sure you use with your agent itself.
It is because that getter or setter will work or not to that.
No. You are directly not accessing a persistent class because you are using with your subclasses itself because it's inherited, right? So now I went here. It goes to some create persistent ZCB. What is that? This ZCB persistent
Base class.
base class. So this code we didn't write. So what I do is I don't want to get inside. So I pressed F7. Let's say here breakpoint because this won't stop here if I don't do that. Yeah. So here, but persistent classes will not do direct submit or commit into the database table. Directly, it will not have. So instead, for example, I will show it anyway. What is our table name? Can somebody tell me? So now what will happen if I run this persistent program? Any idea what will happen now?
Insert the data.
Yes, that employee records and all will be inserted into this database table. Yeah, currently there are no table entries. Now what I'm trying to say, I want to insert this number with this employee name. So create persistent. I didn't write whether to insert or update. I didn't write anything. Correct? I didn't write anything. So I did F6 here. Result. I have some reference, and I have my employee number as all lines, and I execute here. If I see here, still I don't see the entries. And there was no error. So what I try to do is, because persistent class will not save the data, will not save the entries into the database table directly without hitting one statement. That statement is commit to work. Commit to work will, this is not respective with respect to the persistent, that it is generally commit work is generally to save something into the database table. Okay, so commit work will be useful for to store the above records into the database table. This is ideally it handles, even if you write any program, it is handled directly because we wrote that code. But these persistent classes, we didn't write code for getter and setter methods. So that is why it simply writes the logic and leaves the control to save the database table in our hands itself. So now I said commit work and I did it. The employee number is all lines and TCS persistent. Let's see whether do we have records in this table or not. We have records in this table. Some problem with This one, yeah, care all lines. And this one, some problem with this other field. But have you guys understood the scenario? Guys, please. Am I audible? Yeah, I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah. If you have not understood, let me know. I will tell it again. Sorry, what was that?
Possible, can you tell?
Yes, yes, definitely. So, first thing, I have created a database table with two records, two columns, rows, employee number, two fields, nothing but employee number and employee name. Now, I want to set the records into this database table. SAP has given a topic called persistent service, where to access database table, you don't write any code. With minimum CRUD operations like create, read, update, and delete. Such kind of operations you don't do. I will only give you the code. You try to create a persistent. So the rest of the thing I will take care of that. If it is minimal, then I will do this. If you have lot of tables, if you have lot of lots that need to be done, you don't use persistent classes. So far, is it clear?
So
Yeah,
persistent
yeah,
classes
it's clear.
for only, I mean, small database tables.
Yes, maybe one or two database tables, and with straightforward logics.
I mean,
With few records.
it doesn't
Few,
matter the length of the table or the number of tables.
Number of tables. So now I have created a persistent object, persistent class yesterday. But since I cannot directly call the persistent from SE24, I try to call it from SE38. Yeah. Now, how do I call? I have to call with agent. My agent classes I know ZCA, ZCB, and ZCL. Three classes completely SAP has created. Now, agent is created. I can call with the agent. I can call the persistent to create anything with for the agent itself with the agent. And I kept the resulting reference in EMP. And SAP will not commit the status or the records into the database table if it is persistent. So what I did, I tried to do commit work. So with this one, commit work, this respective employee 999 will be saved into the database table. Questions? If it is not clear, let me know. I will say it again.
Deep, if there are multiple records, do we need to commit every time or one commit is enough?
If you have multiple records, it means it will be in loop, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So one loop is fine, and that should be under. It depends actually. It depends. So if you are making an asynchronous call or a synchronous call, you can make it to whether it is in because if you want to update the database each and every record into the database table, then you have to put this commit work in the loop itself.
Okay.
No, I doubt here. Maybe you can try putting outside of the loop itself. Yeah, commit call one should be fine, I guess. So outside the loop is should do good.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So the persistent object meaning service is meant for low or if we have one or two tables with straightforward logics, then we can create this persistent so that we can have getter and setter methods automatically completed by the SAP itself. So we can use that persistent classes. So which we don't use this persistent regularly in our daily day-to-day life. We straightforward go with C24 classes itself. But as a heads up, I'm trying to say about persistence. Yes, as I told you, see, this is the exception that is going to raise for if any to catch any exceptions. By default, the data is saved in an asynchronous update, and you must start this process by using commit work statement. If you want to save the data, if you want to save the records into the database table, you have to use commit work statement. Until that, your records will not be saved into the database table. You are aware of how to create a transaction code?
Using SC93 we can create, right?
Yes. So the same way, which we have discussed a couple of days back, you can use the same program name, and you can create a transaction code for that, for the persistent classes itself. Yeah. Actually, we'll enter either because runtime error because of the response types. Yeah, these slides we have already discussed about the slides about some extended syntax check is what? Can somebody say extended syntax check? Transaction code for that? SLIN. You have discussed SLIN, ST05, performance tuning techniques.
I think one
So,
question that
hmm,
for persistent class, we
hmm.
can use Mara table also. That is a large size. The table has a large size.
No, large size in records, but it is fine. If you are having straightforward record, then that is good. But if you are having 3 to 4 tables, or maybe more than 4 tables with some conditions,
Hmm.
then based upon that conditions only, if you need to save that record into the database table, then it will be a problem. Is it not clear?
Yeah, no. Now I understood.
Okay. So hardly 1 or 2 tables, less number of tables we can go with persistent. Now there is some background about enhancement spots, which we will discuss about now. But make sure this enhancement spot will ruin our system if we don't do it properly. Our complete system will go off, and the complete developments that we made will go off. Imagine if it is in our S4HANA system, that is fine to some extent, but in real time, if if you see enhancements, and if you are asked to work on enhancements, then you must be very careful. If not, the complete developments will go and go vanish. How? It means enhancement spots are usually meant for changing the standard piece of code. So far, we haven't changed standard piece of code from SAP. Have we? No, we haven't changed standard SAP piece of code. Either be it SAP standard function module, classes, SM37, SM36, anywhere. Why do we need to change standard SAP code? Because SAP is suiting my requirement 99%, and 1% may be some extra field, some extra validations, some extra piece of work, slight work is missing. So instead of creating my own object, same replication of SAP standard SAP, I will try to change, I will try to tweak a little so that my requirement will be sufficed, and I have a name saying I have used standard SAP code itself. Any doubts so far?
Enhancement spot means, I mean, it is a class method something, or I mean, what?
It is a class. It is a class, but you will make changes in standard SAP code. You'll
We
make change. For example, if you are calling MM01, a material transaction, or a, say, transactions related to sales, or financials, HR, any module, be it. So there you have some changes you need to be done in a standard SAP code. So directly, if you check SAP code and if you directly put change, then it will not work.
Okay.
If you directly change, display change, that buttons are there, right? If you straight away change the piece of code of standard SAP code, it will not be changed. You'll be asked with some access key. You cannot change, you cannot edit, modify standard SAP code. I will give you an example of how it looks. /NSC38. This RLI 0400, is it a standard program or a custom program?
Standard.
Standard. Say I try to change it. Here in this system, we are getting this error, make repairs in foreign namespaces only if they are urgent. But usually we will not be given this access also. If you do okay, now you are able to see some changes, right? Some lines, but this is grayed out. This is grayed out, you cannot change it, but you see some white lines, correct?
Yes.
So here, this is a standard piece of code. We cannot change it. You cannot directly go and declare some lines here. I'm right now I'm typing. It is not allowed in between. So what is happening is in this piece of code, this program is for. I will tell you the meaning of this report. This report will print the warehouse inventory list for some continuous inventory. This report is meant for some printing the warehouse details. Now, for this, you have some requirement. You have some requirement where you need to say, you need to make some changes. You need to make some changes where if you, here currently it is text, it is writing text hyphen 016 and 019, correct? Maybe you also have some other text. Say, some TCS is one more field you need to write it down. This is almost 99% it is matching. And your client says you need this TCS field additionally. That's all. So now you don't need to go to the complete copy this report and add your TCS field. No, that is not the case here. Since SAP is giving 99% match, you have to customize this standard report itself. So far, is it clear?
But where to do the changes, that one also be provided. Like, I mean, few places are there that we can change.
Yes. We will discuss how do we do that. But so far, have you guys understood what enhancement is? Normally in our day-to-day life, we use enhancement, a keyword called enhancement, a word called enhancement, enhancing product, enhanced features. Nothing but to already existing one, we are giving some other extra features. So here, the enhancement spots or the enhancements are used to change standard SAP code. So to change standard SAP code directly, if we change it, we will be asked with some access key, which is not good. We will have, like, for SAP Windows system, we will have some product keys. The same way we will have access key to make changes in SAP system, but that is allowed only from basis people to make change in the SAP system. So if you are given access to change the SAP code, knowingly or unknowingly, if you make a mistake or if you are creating a syntax error or if your program is going for dump, complete SAP system will go for dump. Complete client will go for loss, financial loss during that time. Until you fix that error, client will not be able to make any transactions, and he will be on loss. And again, he will go to court. He will file a a law case against the company, saying because of these changes, I lost this much amount of money. Correct. So to avoid everything, So SAP has denied giving access to the changing of the code, but they have given couple of ways. You, instead of directly going to your playground, that you can go using this one or two gates to access this playground. But to enter, there are couple of guidelines that need to be followed. This is what SAP has told regarding this enhancement. Yeah. So to make changes, we have different options like enhancement spots, enhancement options, etc. We have, which we will see in further slides. But is it good so far?
Yes.
Okay. So how to create enhancement spot? How to create enhancement spot? Spot meaning
Particular place.
a particular place. Now it says select the package. You can go to any of your package, and you can from this is from a transaction code SCAT. So now you can go to your package and you can create enhancement spot. Right click on that and you can create enhancement spot here. And then you can give, this window is for enhancement spot, where you can give your enhancement spot name and some description and the technology behind that. Yeah. And after that, so yeah, that is how you create the enhancement spot. Let's see. Let us also create an enhancement spot now. /n SCAT. Okay. What is my package name? Does anybody remember that? Hello. Zprof is, I remember, but I don't remember exactly. Zprof package Bhagya. Okay. Say I will put my enhancement spot in this package itself. Let's beat any package. It's just not a problem. In the package, create enhancement spot. Bhagya, you have created only one program so far. It's just a hello program. You have to practice a lot. This is not sufficient, I guess. If you have done in another package or local, I think Bhagya is not from our team, I guess. Okay, anyway, no problem. So z test underscore enhancement spot. Create enhancement spot for print inventory. I will call this enhancement spot in the previous program which I have shown. Say I will put it in Zprof Bhagya. Okay. Anyway, we have seen this screen. Now I will say about this screen. Since so far we don't have access to create a package. Maybe we have access to create a package now. I'm not sure. But if you are putting it in $TMP and if you are not putting in $TMP, these are two cases. Say if you're putting your objects in $TMP, it means you are putting it in local object, correct? Local package, correct?
Yes.
Now, local package, whatever the objects that are there in $TMP cannot be transferred from one system to another system. from one S4 system to another system, it is not possible. Yeah, but if you put it in a package, a transport request will be asked, and the transport request will start with S4 system itself, your system name, and this is a unique number. This is a unique number, and you can create your request with this. You can create your request, and you say okay. Okay. So now you are putting all your changes in this system belongs to a different client. Okay. Say I try to create. Say what is this change for? Change for print inventory. Now I save it. If I put this my transaction here, if I put my changes in this workbench request, this is transport request, then it will be easy for me to move my changes to the target system. So I have created the enhancement spot now. Okay, so this is how you create your enhancement spot. Any questions on this one?
You will explain about body definitions, no?
Yes. Okay, so far we have created the enhancement spot. And similarly, how do you edit the enhancement spot? You can straight away go to your enhancement spot implementation, say here, and it's already in change mode. Here you can go to the attributes, and you can change here your descriptions. So this is under package Bhagya, and who has created? I have created this on this date. Yeah. So technical details will not be there, I believe. Yeah. So currently we have just created an enhancement spot. So we will use this enhancement spot in our print inventory program. Yeah, this is how you change it. And similarly, you can also delete your enhancement spot. Straight away, you can right click on that enhancement spot and you can delete them. Yeah. So what is enhancement spot is, so far we have seen what is an enhancement spot. Here, enhancement spot is nothing but there are two different types of enhancements. One is implicit and the other one is explicit. Now we are only talking about explicit enhancements. Now we are talking only about explicit enhancements, not implicit enhancements. Okay. So currently since we are discussing about an explicit enhancements, so we have an option of enhancement spots. Later we will talk about implicit enhancements. There we will see something else. Okay. I will say it again. We have a topic called enhancement. In that we have implicit and explicit enhancements. In explicit enhancement, we have enhancement spot. So far, is it good?
Yes.
Yes. So enhancement spot, we have seen enhancement spot so far. Now, a sibling of enhancement spot is enhancement point. sibling of enhancement spot is an enhancement point. Enhancement point are the position of SAP program where enhancements are made. It is in the beginning of the line. There is some specific points which SAP has given. Like you are saying to the kids that you have to play in this area itself, not to the other areas of the playground. So that is nothing but this is the point you have to play. Though you have other place to play, you have to play only here. So that is what enhancement point. Enhancement section is complete playground is given to you. Enhancement point is specific place. Enhancement spot is the whole place. Okay. So the difference between spot and point, it is mainly predefined in SAP ABAP locations. It is mainly explicit and created by developers itself. This can be done by any persons, but even this point also will be done by ABAP developers itself. And how do you differentiate them? You have enhancement point is as a keyword and enhancement section as a keyword. So with that, you will differentiate what is enhancement point and what is enhancement section. Yeah, the point will contain most of the code here. Enhancement point will contain most of the code here. And here in this spot, it will have mostly it has enhancement positions. Okay, we will see how it goes in the code way. By the way, which technology have you used here for to implement the baddie, to implement the enhancement spot?
Technology means
What technology have you used to create enhancement spot?
the AC80. I mean the
No, technology I meant. Technology is enhancement method. Baddie. Baddie is the method we have used. Okay, yeah. Now I try to right click on that and I implement this. So far I have only created. Now I am seeing the implementation. Correct? So far we have only created. Now I am trying to implement this. What I try to do is I copy this enhancement spot name and I implement this. And I say IMPL. So now we are activating nothing but this enhancement spot and implementations both are getting activated now. Yeah, this is our enhancement spot. Now what I do, /n SE38. This is my Shanner program. This is my Shanner program. I right click here, enhancement operations, and I say show implicit or not show. Yeah. No, I say show implicit enhancement spots. See here, there is something called enhancement point. And you might also see enhancement section somewhere. It might be there, it might not be there. Enhancement section is also there. Here, enhancement section is nothing but you can write your code here in between. In between the any of the place you can write it. But enhancement point is nothing but either it should be in the beginning of the place or else in the ending of the place. I'm sure this is little advanced and you should have some doubts. Please do let me know if you have any.
Deep, like, how can we find that enhancement point?
Yes, yes, yes.
Do you have
So
any?
now if I try to go to enhancement and show implicit enhancements, currently even right click on this one and you can do an enhancement operations and show implicit enhancement. This one and from edit, both are same. First you have to show the enhancement points, and again you see the spiral icon, right? Spiral, you click on that. So if you want to access enhancement point, this is the point. It has already told you there is an arrow mark here, and in between you cannot access, in between you cannot change. And later if you scroll down here, here also you can, if you see these lines, SAP has asked you to play only on these areas, not in the other areas. So if you see this line, then only you can place, place your changes there. See, in the end form, in the beginning.
That double quotation one.
Yes, double quotation one is the place where you can, maybe with the arrow also you can identify. So here in the beginning or in the end, anywhere you can place, but enhancement point is nothing but it will tell you to either in the beginning or in the end.
We can implement our logic in between form and end form.
Yes, so now we will discuss that.
Wherever we have a double.
Now wherever we have this implementation, enhancement operations, yes, now create option is there. Operation is allowed only for the beginning, for the lines ready for input. Okay, enhancement operation and say create implementation. Now I wanted to make some implementation here. I told you, right, to some write operation, write field. So I'll try to make that there itself. Yeah, here I want to add some TCS field. Edit. Create option should work, I guess. Okay, it's not working. So here, create implementation. Yeah, on the arrows mark. So here, create implementation. Choose a type for the enhancement. Have you already declared? Yes, I have already declared. From a C80 I have declared it, right? So that is where I have declared. So what is my enhancement implementation? IMPL. Oh, implementation test 1. So implementation is already created. Correct, there we have already created, right? So that is one way, or else we can also create from here without going to a CIT. You can also straight away put your implementation here. Say I gave 01 and I will save that. Now if you see, you can change your, you can put your place of, you can put your code here. Understood? I'm not trying to write any piece of code here because it will try to damage the complete S4 system for any example. So I don't want to give any example, but here we can say write some TCS. You can write that. But here if you try to put and write it, it is not allowed. Only this place we can do that. Any questions? And how do you activate? Here, activate enhancements is the place. And one point which I want to say is, if your system for client is upgrading from S4 HANA one version to another version, say from one version to other version, all your enhancements will not be copied. Enhancements will have a restriction that will be for only this version and this system itself. If you are upgrading your system, these enhancement changes will not be copied. Only the code, whatever SAP gives, will be copied. That is the one point you have to remember. Enhancements are
Even if
only,
you implement the explicit enhancement also, it will not copy.
it will not be copied.
Then do you have any other option
No, 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 no.
whenever we upgrade the
It
system?
will not. No, no. If your custom changes will not be upgraded. Your custom
But
changes are your headache.
bad is
Nothing. No, nothing. Again, you have to import the changes to other system. That is how you make the changes. That again, you have to move using transport. You have to make your move your change from one system to other system.
even if you implement the baddie, that will also not move to other system whenever we upgrade.
Nothing.
Without
Nothing. No, no enhancement will be moved. Yeah. So this is how you work with enhancement spots. Operation is allowed only for read.
In enhancement spot, if
Hmm.
any error is there, will it throw down as we are using
It
enhancement?
depends upon that on the problem that you see.
But
It,
it may give dump.
huh? Sorry.
I mean, it may give dump.
It may give dump because if the error is not handled in caught option, it will go for dump.
Then that means entire system will.
Not entire system. The system which access this report, this RLI, this
Mhm.
report. Since there is a problem in this report, so every program or every object which uses this report will fail, will dump. Yeah. So most of the system, most of the developers, whoever access this piece of code will see that dump, and yeah. So based upon this enhancement spot, or maybe because of any some changes, this will be dump. So either that could be dump, or that there could be a syntax issue, there could be a logical issue as well. Logical issue is you are showing an extra field, or you are not showing a field, you are not showing the data rightly. But this is not syntax errors, right? Maybe some logical errors like into, but you have to do some multiplication of two, but somehow you are getting some fractional values. So how do you handle that? So that is not syntax issues or dump issues. So we have to check them also in the debugger. Yeah. So ideally there should be one, but maybe this report is not the place for showing something else. But I try to do enhancement operations and the create option. Since operation is allowed only for lines ready for input. Uh, I will not save this. Show this one and spiral.
What is that spiral again?
Okay, I think you missed to see that. Uh, to first, we have to show the options, show implicit enhancement options
Hmm.
as the first step. After that itself, we have to click on this spiral icon. So we will get this this layout.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So, for example, if you want to see some specific operations of enhancement sections, let's say, I will try to go up, go down, go down. For example, there is an enhancement point where this is the enhancement point name. In the spot, in the enhancement spot, we will give our enhancement point. In the same enhancement spot, yes, we will try to put our enhancement spot. For example, if I go double click on enhancement spot, see this is what we have seen, right? Some enhancement for enhancement point, some static enhancement point. These are all. This is some standard one. Who created this? Some LV, a person called SAP has created this package in some 2004. In this enhancement spot, I tried to create enhancements point. If I double click on this enhancement point, no, not this one. Here. Yes. So this is my enhancement point where for a given enhancement spot, we can create enhancement point. As I say it again, for a given enhancement spot, we can create an enhancement point. So what is point and what is spot?
But point is already provided by SAP,
No, no, the keyword is provided. The place is provided. We can create our own enhancement point, right? Again, we can give our own name here, right? For a given, correctly, we have created an enhancement spot, correct?
no? Yes.
So for that enhancement spot, I can create my enhancement point again. I can use this keyword. I can use this keyword and I can use my already created implementation, enhancement spot implementation, and I can use enhancement point name also. So what is the purpose of enhancement point? As I told you, it is a place with the help of, it is actually mostly for the beginning or the end of the course. A end or beginning or end of the place itself, we can see enhancement point. But spot, as we have seen in the middle of the program also, we can make our changes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we have some more another PPT which I will show. Yeah, we have implicit and explicit. So into further details of what we have discussed so far, it is a quick recap. There are two types of explicit enhancements. One is point and one is section. Yes. So at the point, the enhancement point is we are assigning the source code defined between enhancement and end enhancement. Yeah. In between the enhancement and end enhancement, we'll put our piece of code. Whereas the section is used to replace a set of code in between the code also, in between the standard code, the code as well. We can change that. Here, if we write our enhancement section, the original piece of code will not be executed. Whatever the code that is there in the enhancement section, that will be executed. But in enhancements point, along with the standard code, custom code will be executed. In enhancement section here, only the code you write will be executed, which is under section. Any doubt?
section is a code that we replace with our code.
with our code from standard. Yeah. Now, how to implement explicit enhancement options? I think we have seen this. Enhancement spot. We have seen, but this is a repeated one. So currently this example is they are creating a Z program, and the example will be shown to enhance a standard program. But does it really matter to change a standard program and using enhancements? Does it really matter to change a custom program with enhancements?
No, that is a custom program. No need, because that is already written by us. Can make
So
changes
we can
there.
straight away change that, and we can straight away do that.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to change the custom program done by somebody else, and it works perfect since many years, and if you want to don't want to change, and if you want to isolate your piece of code with the existing one, still you can go for enhancement point and enhancement concepts with Z program, but that is not needed. We can straight away put our comments, and we can straight away make our changes. That is also a case. I hope you understood. Everybody?
Yeah. And
Yes. So here in the right click, if you click on the right click on the enhancements, create option, here you will get enhancement section, as we have seen. Here you can write your piece of code to say not into 2, you say into 4 is your logic, divided by 4 is one of your logic, so you can put your new enhancement. Yeah, here we have seen that right here. In between this enhancement section and end enhancement section, we can save this, and finally you can activate. You have to activate. If you don't activate, it will not come back. I mean, you will not see your changes. As I have told you about the spiral bending spiral icon, which will show you the possible places of implementing the enhancement options. Here, there is some program called MV445AFZB. Is a standard program, obviously. So they are making changes there. Let's see our MV4. Let's try to copy this program. /NSE38 MV45AF MV45AF ZB AFZB. This is some program which I'm not sure about the purpose of this program. Some from program for sales document processing. Show this. So this will be coming up now. From here, whatever the spot we have created some spot right earlier. So using that, here if you say and create the implementation, with this you can create your enhancement spots and enhancement points. If you see the program here, show implicit enhancements. First we try to see show implicit, and here we can also create, but for some reason we are not able to create the create option. Yeah. So after create option, again you will see the implementation place. You can create the enhancement implementation there also, and he can put your enhancements. Yeah. So any questions on this implicit and explicit enhancements?
Okay, can you just tell the difference once?
Between?
Implicit and explicit.
Okay. Uh, in the first line, if I try to go. So enhancement point and enhancement section are coming under explicit. Explicit meaning that is not your area. Correct. Explicit is nothing but some outside foreign body. So to handle foreign body, you cannot go to other foreign country as you wish, as you roam in India, right? Since it's a foreign country, you have to, there is some particular guidelines like visa stamping, passport, etc. There are a lot of things that will be involved to go to another country. The same way, explicit, you have, if you want to visit any other country, you have something called enhancement point and enhancement section. Using these 2 points, you can achieve the enhancements if it is explicit. And implicit is nothing but here. If you see, not this one. Yeah, if you, not this one. If you simply see enhancement, there you can change your piece of code. Currently in this MVZAB program, cancel, and I will see enhancement. Okay, spelling mistake. If you see anywhere enhancement keyword, then that is implicit enhancement.
Okay, only enhancement.
Only enhancement. SAP has asked you to make your change here itself. Right. If you are allowed to be in US, we can go to US places, but not to the key places, right, of US. Only maybe some citizens of US citizens can only go. Maybe the White House you cannot go. The same way, you are allowed, but not to these places. The same way, it is implicit and explicit. You have given a couple of guidelines, and you have to follow them itself. Yeah. And for test, if you write some piece of code and you are testing in future, if you are testing, and parallelly if somebody also runs, they might see a dump. Correct. So what I ask you to do is, you put all your logic in between your SIU name. If SIU name is equal to Tamashri, and you put all your logic and you end if, so that all your logic will be, your enhancement will be in that logic itself, and nobody will see that impact, because they will run from their own users, and this piece of code will not be hit.
And that if that dump occurs, that one only occur in my system only.
Will for you only.
Okay.
And once you see everything is good, then you can remove the SIU name condition. Everybody, is it okay? Is it understandable?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, nice. Okay, we'll try to give some background about the baddies. Baddie is also a type of enhancement. So the baddie, before we start, we have something called something about images and the copyrights. And now the agenda for this topic is, we will discuss about what a baddie is, the features, advantages, types of baddie, and how do we define and implement the baddie. I will take it. We'll take over a glance about this baddie, and then we'll see how we'll see how baddie works in the system. So now mainly the baddie is abbreviated as business add-ins. Baddie is baddie mean business add-ins. Okay, so baddies will mostly work on OOPS concepts. I will tell you one story before baddies. What happened in R3 system? SAP has given 95% of standard code. They have roamed, they have surveyed all the existing markets, be it manufacturing, HR, production management, SCM, HCM, CRM, SCM, everything. They have taken couple of common features and they have tried to give, okay, this is how this piece of material management business runs. So let's build this, is what they thought. And so they gave it to the customers. Maybe after receiving that product, SAP product, after 10 years, following the current global market trends, the client has decided to show some changes in the UI, or else may be it in some mobile screen UIs, or else some hyperlinks were not there earlier, but it's common now, hyperlinks and etc. So to make those changes, so no need of creating standard, no need of since you will not have a key for access key to change the standard piece of code, and you don't want also to create a custom code with replicating the standard SAP code. If you do that, again you have to put your efforts in testing, all the piece of testing, maintenance will be there, everything will be there, correct? So to avoid them, you will be asked to change, take enhancement topic, and you will be asked to modify the existing piece of code itself. So as I told you, to handle different areas, we have different enhancement topics. Please remember, we have different topics to handle enhancements. So far we have seen enhancements point and sections, I mean implicit and explicit enhancements, and now we are seeing baddies. But before to OOPS concepts, we have SAP has given ABAP. So complete piece of our logics are written in ABAP and using function modules and using include programs, some programs, and using our function modules. As I told you, we are using OOPS concepts currently. So to adhere OOPS concepts, SAP has given baddies. But what about the enhancements that were for function modules and reports? So for that, we have something called as exit, which is obsolete now. But if you still need to enhance a particular function module, you cannot use baddie. Okay, you cannot use baddie for a function module. Baddie is meant for a class. So to use exit, if you want to change some piece of code for a function module, we have to use a new concept called exit. But that exit are obsolete now, which we are not using. But if you still have a requirement, we have something called as exit, which we will not see here in this entire session, but I'm just giving you a background. Yeah. So for S, there are something called as S mode and C mode transaction code. That transaction code called, I will try to repeat, S MOD, C MOD. C for China, M for Mumbai, O for Orissa, D for Dehradun. C mode, S mode. These are the transaction code for enhancing the function modules, which we will not see. But this baddie is on top of the exits. Yeah. So for any questions?
That is for standard and custom program also.
Custom you forgot. Custom is that's a rare case, but these enhancements by either be it in body or exits or implicit or enhancement sections, both all of them are for standard code itself.
Okay. Body is basically enhancement technique.
Yeah, this is also enhancement technique.
Okay.
And apart from this, as I said, you have exits, which works for function modules. Yeah. Now, as you see the first point, a baddie is also an enhancement technique that gives a chance to the SAP programmer or a user or an industry. Programmer means us, a user means an end user, like say Coca-Cola, and a specific industry, meaning a marketing industry or a customer relationship management industry or a HCM, HR, ABAP HCM industry. So there is a chance to add some additional code to the existing program in SAP system itself. If you had given a chance directly to change the piece of code of SAP with the straight away a change button, so you're not controlling the enhancements, you're completely ruining your SAP system piece of code. So to avoid them, we have these many techniques. We can use standard or customized logic to improve the SAP system. SAP will also give you in the couple of releases or update versions, SAP will also will place their piece of code in the standard piece of code with enhancement techniques itself. They hardly write logic inside them because they can change that. They can modify the code, but still they will also prefer this enhancement techniques itself for the upgradation. Okay. So a baddie must be first defined. First it has to be defined and then it should be implemented. First you define and then you implement to enhance the SAP application. For example, you have MM01, which will create a material in Mara and Marcy tables. For your client, this MM01 should behave slightly a different way. So for that, you have to define a baddie and you need to implement that. As I told you, baddie works mostly on OOPS concept. So for defining a baddie, we also need a interface. We also need a interface, like from SC24 we are aware, right? That same interface should be created while defining a baddie. Ultimately, baddie is implemented by this interface since we have defined using that interface. And this interface can be used in multiple classes. Nothing but the same baddie. For example, the same change is required for material and for production management, production planning, PP, SAP PP, or else some two different modules. If the same logic should be implemented, the same baddie, one single baddie can be used to enhance two different applications. Any questions?
I have one confusion. Like, is baddies are I mean they are uh, already provided piece of code, or we have to write it in a way that we can call it is a baddie?
No, we have to create a baddie.
Okay.
If SAP thinks this piece of code is very crucial and we shouldn't give any access to any person, so then there will be no enhancement technique will work on that area. Okay, and the rest of the area, the rest of the blue area is given to the outside world, and the rest of the gray area is given to SAP as It's with SAP area, and that will be that will not be enhanced. Cannot be enhanced. Only SAP can do that. The blue area, whatever it is, we can apply all our enhancement techniques there. Yeah. For this implementation of implementing the baddie, we need an interface, so that this interface, because as with the use of interfaces, we can use that interface in multiple classes. Correct or not? Correct or not?
What can you repeat?
Yes, we can use this interface. Normally, an interface can be used in different classes. Correct. The same way, I'm currently using baddie, and I'm trying to create an interface, and I want to define a baddie. So it also means in the similar lines, I can call this baddie in different implementations. In different classes, I can call this baddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Say this is the standard SAP screen from SAP HCM module. HCM is human management, human capital management, where you see a timesheet screen. Timesheet will be filled. Yeah, personal number means employee number. So this is how backend SAP will take care of your time logging. Now with our enhancement, the user, the Coca-Cola company asked us to make a little change, saying this is working fine for me, but you also give a little warning, a checkbox saying I understand and agree with my terms and conditions. That's all. That line only it is needed to me. So then developer should say that, okay, since this is doing good, I will try to make changes in a standard screen itself with the given changes. So here the changes I understand and agree should be coming here with the tick box, and this tick box should be saved. Correct. Whether we know the user has accepted the terms or conditions or not, we have to save that in a database table, in one of the table which wherever it gets decided. Any questions on this one? Okay. So user cannot proceed until acknowledging message. This is the latest enhancement. Why this has come earlier in 90s? There, I think there shouldn't be any such kind of terms and conditions checkbox. Recently, it has come up. So to adapt to the latest trends with the given conditions and terms, Coca-Cola company will change their terms and conditions based upon the time. Right? There are different conditions in UK. There are different conditions in US, and in different conditions in India as well. So this has come up in newly. So Coca-Cola has asked the developer to give this thing. So we gave this, that I understand, agree. We have added a new button with that. So as I told you, baddies are object oriented and they can be implemented multiple times. Can somebody tell me how can we implement a baddie multiple times?
Using interface.
Yes, correct. We are using interfaces behind baddies, so that is why we are going to create we can implement baddie multiple times. And baddies doesn't require a change registration, because SAP has given a chance to um, change the piece of code. And if you are using SAP software in your systems, nothing but it is already paid. The license is already paid by our companies. And again, there is no change license is required for again a change for changing it again. Just give me a minute. Without knowing this, I spoke for some time. Now, if you say this, I will repeat it again. the baddie can have multiple implementations because of the interface. But this concept was not there during function modules. That is why the exits like S mode and C mode, that exits are not possible with multiple implementations. We can only have single implementation. If you need to change any other change in a function module, again you need to create an exit. And again you need to implement that. The difference between baddie and exit is baddie can have multiple implementations and one single definition. And exits should have one definition, one implementation only. Any questions?
Baddies will have one implement, that line what you mentioned.
Baddies will have multiple implementations.
Okay.
First point, baddies can have multiple implementation but single definition. You define once, use multiple times. Okay, you got it right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, there are different types of baddies based upon the implementation, based upon the usage. We say different types. But baddies, the meaning is same, the purpose is same for the baddie, but depending upon the usage, we try to name it differently. As you see, the first two types are self-explanatory. If you're using the baddie once, that is single implementation. And if you're using the baddie multiple times, it means multiple implementation. And if you're using filter, there is something called as filter baddie, where the same baddie should work in same way, but the user will give input to the baddie. If user will give the input to the baddie saying country is US, country is UK. Based upon this, your same baddie should work in slightly different way based upon the input given by the user. So here I say filter baddie. Anyway, I will show it to you tomorrow. This is a filter baddie where a user will accept, your baddie will accept the input given by the user. And if it is US or UK, based upon that, your further baddie implementation will be called. Any questions on this one? Okay. Yeah. And the custom baddie is nothing but the complete custom baddie. We are actually custom baddie is nothing but we don't use much. A custom baddie is it mean we are completely building the baddie from the scratch. We are not going to find any exit. We are not going to find any place to call our baddie, but instead we try to do from the scratch with our own logic and our own techniques. So that is nothing but custom baddies. Yes, the same meaning it says. If the dependent checkbox is selected, it is filter dependent. And based upon the such as land1 or BUKRS or WERKS, meaning some country code or some plant values, the filter will happen based upon the input you give. Okay, there are checkboxes. I will show it in the next screenshot, I guess. Yeah, this is the baddie screenshot where it will tell you it is not filter dependent, but this baddie is used for multiple use. That is what it says, multiple use. And if a checkbox within SAP is checked, then you cannot use that baddie because that is for SAP itself, not for our developers.
Is that a single use?
Single use, if you uncheck multiple use, it is single use. If you check or uncheck multiple use checkbox, based upon that, it is a single or multiple use. And the next one, filter dependent, as I told you, it will tell you filter dependent and filter type I say here. Be it, let's say, a username, or else a country code, or else a material number, or else a sales document number, I can give. So that my baddie is expecting an input. Based upon that input, it will try to make further processing logics. Any questions on this one?
Yeah, which T code do you use to open this layout?
SC18 and SC19. We'll see it tomorrow, but anyway, as you asked, SC18 and SC19 will be used for baddies. Okay, yeah. So Tamashri, the task for you, so you please use that website and create some 10 questions on that.
Yeah, I was checking that, but whenever I click create, it is showing to sign in, login.
Yeah, you have to sign in, maybe with your Gmail ID, Gmail, you can try doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that activity will, so that we will use that activity tomorrow in our session for that. I will share that link to everybody, and everybody has to answer that. So you don't say,
Sorry.
you don't say these questions to anybody. You keep it with yourself. Maybe you can Google, you can find a number of questions on the different topics.
Okay, only the four topics.
First four topics.
Okay. I'll
If
try.
you are okay, you can also give more questions, but 10 questions you make sure.
And I'll go for 10 questions.
Okay. You can Google it. You can find some questions on the topics, basic questions on ABAP. I can find them. There will be a lot of tutorials on that.
Yeah. And I'll just have to create only that quiz, the how the video shows.
Correct. You can also check in YouTube about with this website. They will tell you how to create multiple questions. You can give multiple checkboxes, or else you can say polling. You can say blank questions. You choose fill in the blanks as a topic.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I have shown it, right? What is DDIC? You have given your own answers.
Yeah.
So
I
the
don't
same
have
way.
to write that keywords, no?
Keywords you have to give.
Okay.
Keywords you have to give. If not, it will not be saved.
Okay.
Yeah, you give it a try. Let's know. Give it a try. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay. Yeah, and you can also give a try. And rest for rest, you can also give a try with the assignments. Please do that. If based upon the assignments itself, we will be assessed with your knowledge so far. Yeah.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit our Vimeo page and follow for more upcoming videos.